Right now, the Dane County Sheriff's Office remembers Deputy Rick Treadwell, Wisconsin's first COVID line-of-duty death. And the Republican National Convention kicks off tomorrow, how President Trump and the GOP are preparing to make his case for re-election.
This is News 3 Now at 5:30.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 5:30. I'm Amanda Quintana. We're learning more about the Dane County Sheriff's deputy who died yesterday after a weeks-long battle with COVID-19.
And yesterday afternoon, at approximately 4:30 p.m., Dane County Sheriff's Deputy Rick Treadwell, who had given 25 years, had just begun his 26th year of very dedicated service to the citizens of Dane County, died from COVID-19.
Sheriff Dave Mahoney says Deputy Treadwell was part of the county's training team, as well as a recruiter, firearms instructor, and CPR instructor. Treadwell is believed to have contracted the virus while on duty, and his death is being considered the first line-of-duty COVID-related death in the state of Wisconsin. Funeral arrangements with honors are still being determined. State and community leaders are remembering Deputy Treadwell. Attorney General Josh Call issued a statement saying, as a training deputy, Rick was able to impact each new general of sheriff's deputies in Dane County. This important and honorable public service made communities in Wisconsin safer, and the legacy of his service will continue through the work of many deputies he trained. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says the county is mourning Treadwell's passing, saying, quote, his life was taken too early by this terrible virus. Wisconsin has seen a drop in new coronavirus cases over the last day. According to combined data from DHS and county dashboards, there are 424 new cases over the last 24 hours. That's a significant decrease from yesterday's number of new cases, which was over 800. 7 more people have died from complications of the virus, bringing the state's death toll to 1,090. Let's get a look at your first warn weather now with Dana Fulton. It was hot out there today, Dana.
It's still a little warm outside. A very summery weekend, and the summer weather is going to continue as we look ahead to the work week. The heat's just not going anywhere. Right now, we do have mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the middle 80s. We should be in the upper 70s for afternoon highs for the end of August, so it is well above average with dew points in the upper 60s, so it feels humid. There was a slight chance for an isolated storm to pop up with that humidity. Right now, our Doppler track is quiet in southern Wisconsin. A few showers and storms south of Milwaukee, but that's all moving towards Chicago right now. Overnight, temperatures will only drop to the mid-60s, so we don't fall much overnight, and tomorrow we're in the low 90s. So you notice the heat trend for overnight lows and afternoon highs. Hot and humid for Monday. We'll stay hot and humid for much of the week. It'll come with a lot of sunshine, but it is going to come with the chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms for late Monday night into early Tuesday. We'll take a closer look at that storm chance in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. More local news now. 2 people were rescued from the Sugar River in Rock County last night. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says the boaters were a man and a woman from Illinois. They did not suffer any injuries. When officials arrived, they say one person was clinging to a kayak while the other was clinging to a tube. Police are investigating a shooting near Goodman Pool early this morning. They responded to the scene near West Olin Avenue and Gilson Street around 4 after people say they heard gunshots. Officers found 4 shell casings at the scene. No injuries have been reported. A Darlington police officer is out of the hospital now after a house fire early this morning. Crews responded to a 3-unit apartment building in the 300 block of Main Street around 3:30. Police say a person fell asleep while cooking. One officer who was evacuating residents suffered smoke inhalation and was taken to a hospital as a precaution. Turning to the campaign trail, in a news conference this afternoon, President Trump announced the FDA has issued emergency use authorization for convalescent plasma for COVID-19 treatment. It comes as his campaign preps for tomorrow's start of the Republican National Convention. CBS News' Tom Hansen has more from New York.
President Trump is responding to newly surfaced audio recordings believed to be his older sister sharply criticizing him. In one of several clips first reported by the Washington Post, Marianne Trump Berry, who was allegedly secretly recorded by her niece, slams the president for his immigration policies.
All he wants to do is appeal to his base. He has no principles, none. rights. I mean, my God, if you were a religious person, you want to help people, not do this.
In a statement from the White House, President Trump said, in part, quote, "Every day it's something else. Who cares? I miss my brother and I'll continue to work hard for the American people." The president's younger brother, Robert, died just over a week ago. In another controversy, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said President Trump's threat to send law enforcement to polling places on Election Day is not about intimidating voters.
I think what the president was really addressing is to make sure that if you want to show up and vote in person, we're going to make sure that is safe. Whether you're voting for him or you're voting for Joe Biden or you're voting for some other candidate.
As the president's campaign prepares to kick off this week's Republican National Convention on Monday, a new CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Joe Biden maintaining a lead among likely voters nationwide. The poll also finds Biden solidifying his existing support following last week's Democratic National Convention. Tom Hansen, CBS News.
In addition to President Trump, the list of scheduled speakers at the four-day RNC includes Vice President Mike Pence, Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley, and First Lady Melania Trump. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she would accept November's election results as legitimate if President Trump were to win re-election. She says it's not a question of accepting the result, but helping people overcome Trump's obstacles to vote.
Of course, but that doesn't mean that we will not shout out against his initiatives, whether it's to tie up the Postal Service so that we will not have the opportunity for people to vote by mail, not having to choose between their health and their vote.
On Trump's claims on voter fraud in mail-in voting, Pelosi says it's best to ignore what he has to say. The president denies discouraging people from casting their ballots. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 5:30, as some universities shut down in-person classes for the fall. Hear from some UW-Milwaukee students as they return to campus this weekend. And tonight on News 3 Now at 10, as Dane County orders most grades to start off the school year virtually, why some parents of private school students say they should still be able to make their own choice. That's tonight at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Oh, is that really me?
Here, I don't look 61 in 3 weeks. I have no wrinkles, no bags, and this is only because of Plexiderm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Plexiderm is a wonderful product. I look at least 10 years younger.
It's a facelift in a jar.
The people you're watching have just seen themselves in the mirror for the first time since we applied Plexiderm to their problem areas. Their reactions are real, and so are the results from using Plexiderm. What's even more amazing is that it takes less than 10 minutes. Now you can watch your under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet visibly disappear for just $14.95 by going to plexidermtrial.com and taking the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
This is really good. This is, I'm going to fill my bathtub with this stuff and get the whole body this time. All these lines are gone. I feel like a new woman.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. At our $14.95 price, it's the best time to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself. So if under-eye bags make you look tired and older, take the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge today for only $14.95. Just go to plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Nearly 2 2 Syracuse University students have been suspended after they reportedly broke rules regarding COVID-19. University officials say the 23 students were part of a large gathering on campus. The dean of students and head of public safety are calling the gathering, quote, incredibly reckless behavior. There are currently 7 active COVID cases between students, staff, and faculty on their campus. Some colleges across the country have already shut down in-person classes after outbreaks of coronavirus, but UW-Milwaukee students are returning this weekend to campus. WDJT's Pari Cruz talked to the first group of students coming back and has more on how they're feeling being back during a pandemic.
Move in, first day.
Hi. About 300 students are moving in here at Sandberg Hall today. They're the first of about 2,100 students who will be returning to live in university housing on campus this year.
I thought about taking a gap year for since Corona and all that stuff, but then I figured if I took a gap year, I wouldn't want to go back.
Have a great move in. Have a good day. Thank you too.
We're expecting them to obviously practice social distancing, wearing their mask when they're in communal spaces. Students can take their mask off when they're in their res hall room.
Because of COVID-19, move-in runs a bit differently. In order to social distance, students had to sign up for time slots. They were limited to 2 helpers, and they picked up their welcome packets through this drive-thru. Mackenzie is a student athlete on the school swim team, and she says she trusts the school to keep them safe.
They're swaying us into groups, not more than 10 people in the weight room and not many people on the pool deck.
Cars came loaded with things, but extra space was made for things like masks, hand sanitizer, and extra cleaning supplies. UWM says more than half of their classes will be online. About a quarter will still be in person, and another 20% will be a mix of both. But despite all this, students are happy to be back.
I am looking forward to being in pajamas all day and relaxing, but I am disappointed because I wanted the full experience, which I won't be getting this year, but it is what it is.
The university is giving students a health packet with information on staying healthy, a thermometer, and a web form for reporting if they do become symptomatic. Most UW-Madison students begin returning to campus next week. Coming up on News 3 Now at 5:30, the Gulf Coast braces for a pair of major weather events at the same time. Plus, plenty of sunshine and heat ahead for the work week. Dana's back with your first warned forecast next.
Today, some things do stand firm. Those you can lean on, the things that matter, and the importance of you being you. That's why, no matter the type of care you need, or the way you need it, we're here every day, safe and ready. Because wherever you are in your world, you're the focus of ours. Safe care your way. Unity Point Health Merida, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is here with great offers on a huge selection, like 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. And get peace of mind with the Ford Promise. It's summer, so grab the family and head out. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus the peace of mind of the Ford Promise. See your local Ford dealer today.
Wisconsin's rural schools have been facing a different set of tough decisions this year. We'll find out how one small district is preparing for the challenges of reopening their doors and bringing students back to school.
We can get everyone back here that wants to be here.
Monday on News 3 Now this morning.
What happens now? Now that the rent's due, but they've cut your pay. Now that the virus has cost lives, but your health care costs too much. Now that our president has had months, but he still doesn't have a plan. What happens now? Joe Biden knows how to lead through a crisis because he's done it before. When our economy was on the verge of collapse, Joe Biden led the largest economic stimulus in a generation and saved millions of jobs. Now Joe Biden is ready to lead us through this crisis. He knows rebuilding our economy starts with fighting the virus, increasing testing, getting more protective gear for healthcare workers, and calling for mask mandates nationwide. As president, he'll get working families back on their feet by lowering healthcare costs and helping small businesses recover. So what happens now? We elect a president who will build back better.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
More than 250 firefighters have been battling this warehouse fire in Philadelphia. The fire started in the early morning hours. The warehouse complex is a set of closely connected buildings. A fire commissioner says the 6-alarm fire is the city's largest fire since early 2016. At least one firefighter has been injured. Fire crews plan on staying for several days to put out hot spots while investigators try to figure out what started the fire. A hurricane and a tropical storm are barreling toward the Gulf Coast, all within 48 hours of each other. This comes on the same week Louisiana is set to make the somber 15-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. As Britt Conway reports, this is a rare weather event, and residents are not taking any chances.
A 1-2 punch, the Gulf Coast bracing for 2 storms. All that constant rain raising concerns for coastal flooding, storm surge, and isolated tornadoes.
The first 72 hours is on you, and that is because the second storm comes in so close that there may not be much of a window when we can fly search and rescue helicopters.
The growing threat has residents stocking up, preparing for power outages and evacuations.
They need to make sure, like the governor said, that they're taking action now. That window is closing quickly.
Hurricane Marco will be the first to make landfall. Forecasters say it's expected to hit Louisiana by Monday, and authorities are gearing up. Sandbags and generators are being delivered across the state, and nearly 200 floodgates are closed. And the pandemic isn't making it any easier.
Because of safety concerns associated with the pandemic, congregate sheltering will be a last resort for people who need to evacuate.
Meanwhile, 48 hours later, Tropical Storm Laura is also expected to strengthen to a hurricane and make landfall in Louisiana on Wednesday.
It is possible that there could be some spots within the state that will be measuring rainfall in 1 to 2 feet instead of in just inches.
Forecasters say 2 storms hitting the Gulf Coast is a rare occurrence. It's only happened twice in recorded history, once in 1933 and then again in 1959. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Next Saturday marks the 15th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Let's get a look at your first warn weather now with Dana Fulton. I know you've been looking at that as well. It's kind of crazy that both of them are going that direction.
Right on the same track. Yes, for us, we really could use the rain right now. And for the Gulf Coast, they're going to pick up way too much rain over the next few days. Again, as we look at Hurricane Marco, now a Category 1 hurricane, it's going to continue to travel northwest and then slide right along the coast. So areas that usually deal with these storms passing over, and then the storm moves north and pulls away. Once you get on the south side of the storm, you don't see as much rain building through. But with that west curve, the entire coastline of Louisiana is going to pick up a lot of rain. And then as we look ahead to Tropical Storm Laura, you can see it strengthens through that warm Gulf water to a Category 1, maybe even a Category 2 hurricane before making landfall right along that same area between New Orleans and Houston. So more rain pushing in. This is for early next week, or the middle really of next week, once Hurricane Laura at that point travels over the coastline. So a lot of rain pushing in, a lot of storm surge, and a lot of wind as well on what is a very sensitive week as we head into the 15th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina moving over New Orleans. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that area as we work through the next several days as landfall comes closer for Marco and Laura. On the west coast right now, a lot of haze and a lot of smoke. This is our satellite imagery of all of the wildfires burning right now through California, even stretching into Nevada, Utah, parts of New Mexico, and Arizona. That is impacting us all the way over in the Midwest. We're dry outside today. The smoke really over in the Dakotas and Minnesota, but as we look ahead to tomorrow, you can see on our satellite imagery, we're expecting to see mostly sunny skies for tomorrow, but it's likely going to be a little hazy outside as that smoke lifts into the Midwest, passing on over us showers for Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday. That cloud coverage could be partially due to the smoke and the particles in the sky from that smoke lifting in. So that'll be traveling. If it's impacting us, it's impacting areas across the plains as well. Aside from that, we're in for a very hot and summery stretch. Overnight temperatures will be in the mid-60s. For Monday afternoon, highs will be in the low 90s with heat index readings in the mid to upper 90s. For Monday night and into early Tuesday morning, it looks like we're going to have a few very strong thunderstorms and showers passing through. They move through quickly, but they're going to bring quick, heavy rain. Going to hear some rumbles of thunder early Tuesday. But throughout the day on Tuesday, plan on partly sunny skies and high temperatures yet again in the low 90s. Right now, we do have a slight risk for severe weather stretching through the northern portion of our viewing area, really for areas northeast of Dane County. Again, that's for Monday night. During the day, it's going to stay dry, but it's something we're going to monitor closely. Not seeing a lot of rain coming through along with that, and that would be good news for us to pick up just a bit of rain, as high temperatures will stay in the low 90s for the next several days with a lot of sun and not a lot of rain opportunities as we look at that 10-day forecast just late Monday, again on Friday, and then as we look ahead to early next week. So please, with the sunshine and those high temperatures, stay hydrated, use sunscreen, limit your time outside doing vigorous activities. We're in for a very warm stretch.
Yeah, and you can feel it when you're out there. That humidity, it's back.
It is. It's built back in.
Thank you so much, Dana. A former Badger is getting his shot in the NFL in a very familiar place. That story coming up next in sports.
Wild Easttown Honda has clearance savings on over 400 new Hondas. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on your favorite new Hondas at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Our seniors that are being hit the hardest, they're frightened. And I want them to know that their health and safety will be my responsibility if I'm your president. And I'll have from day one, ready to go, the best medical experts and scientists to advise on our response. And I will not abandon you. It's a simple proposition, folks. We're all in this together. We got to fight this together. We'll emerge from this stronger because we did it together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
This order could be more than an order. This order could be the first one you've actually had time for in longer than you can remember. Or this order could be a reason to leave the house today. Whatever this order is for you, we'll be here to take it.
Take a break and enjoy a fresh beef quarter pounder with cheese and pair it with a $1 any size soft drink. Available every day, all day, only at McDonald's.
I like to drive. I used to think I was a pretty good driver.
But now Joe Biden's taken a sharp left turn. Buckle up for his $4 trillion tax hike. Biden's plan raises taxes on small business, reversing the recovery. He's pledged to eliminate blue-collar oil and gas jobs. And analysts estimate stocks would crash up to 25% if Biden takes the wheel, crushing your retirement.
This is just bold.
Hit the brakes on Biden. He'll wreck our economy. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Wild Easttown Honda has clearance savings on 400 new Hondas. Lease a new all-wheel drive CR-V for $269. That's $269 and absolutely zero due at signing at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
Concerning news out of the NFL today. The league says they are investigating after several positive COVID-19 test results were all traced back to the same lab in New Jersey. So what does that mean, and what is the concern here? Well, this all raises some question about the efficacy of these tests. And this morning, the general manager of the Buffalo Bills said 10 teams were affected by these tests. That does include the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions. But head coach Matt LaFleur said that those tests did catch a couple of his players, but the number of them was small enough and his staff was able to figure it all out before practice started today.
Never want to put our guys at risk. You know, one practice isn't worth it if we really truly felt like this was a serious problem within our football team in terms of a bunch of guys testing positive. So, you know, if we ever got into that situation where we thought it was a real thing, we would definitely cancel the practice.
Meanwhile, some exciting news for fans here in Wisconsin. Former Badger wide receiver A.J. Taylor is getting a shot to make an NFL roster. He had a tryout in Green Bay today. This comes just 9 months after he tore his ACL in the Axe game against Minnesota at the end of last season. The Brewers trying not to get swept in Pittsburgh this afternoon. We pick it up in the 6th inning, tied at 2 until Justin Smoke sends that ball soaring. Hits the pole, but it is fair for a 2-run home run, and the Brewers, they take the 4-2 lead. But the Pirates chipping away. Gregory Polanco clear out to right center in the 8th. A 2-run shot to give the Pirates the lead back. And the Brewers, well, they get swept, and they're actually on a 4-game losing skid right now, hoping to turn it around tomorrow back at Miller Park when the Crew hosts the Reds. Sticking with some baseball finally tonight. Who is this random human, and why is he standing on top of a parking deck outside of Progressive Field in Cleveland? Well, to see this guy pitch, the guy on the mound is Tristan McKenzie, and his friend there is Nolan Jones, who is also a top prospect for the Indians. McKenzie struck out 10 over 6 innings, gave up 1 run. Not too shabby. And Amanda, again, you can't have fans in the stands at any of these games, so friends going to any length to support their friends.
I'm sure it felt good to at least have somebody that he knows there, kind of far away, but still there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Melissa. We'll be right back.
This summer, get back to where you belong, along 60 miles of beautiful wide-open beaches, where family vacations have never been so much fun. With every sunrise and each high tide, the beach is calling you to raise your spirits, make you smile, and bring your family closer together. So stop dreaming and start booking, because we can't wait for you to get here. Visit Myrtle Beach and discover why happiness comes in waves.
Scranton is a long way from Wall Street. You won't find skyscrapers or big city bankers, just hard-working people. That's where Joe Biden's story starts. It's why he's running for president, for the backbone of this nation, working families. Donald Trump, he's in it for himself and his wealthy friends. In this crisis, we need to help workers and small businesses, and we need a president who will build back better.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Now I get to make a difference in people's lives the way that the nurses that took care of my grandma made a difference in her life.
Now is the time to change your life. Herzing University makes it possible without leaving home. Herzing offers dozens of online degrees in nursing, healthcare, IT, and business. Start studying online and take the first step toward a new career.
I'm an ICU nurse.
I'm possible at Herzing.
Garver. Garver.
Gather. Gathering.
Garver.
Gathering.
Garv.
Garvering.
A socially responsible gathering where a maximum of 250 people enjoy thirst-quenching drinks, delicious food, and the arts in a safe, clean, and touchless outdoor environment. Let's go Garvering. Visit thegarverfeedmill.com for dates and details starting June 11th.
Brought to you by News 3 Now, Madison Magazine, and the Garver Feed Mill.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Some sweet news for fans of Krispy Kreme donuts. The chain CEO says the new massive Krispy Kreme flagship store will open in New York's Times Square next month. The 4,500 square foot donut shop will include a glaze waterfall, a 24-hour street pickup window, and a system that can make more than 4,500 donuts an hour. Okay, now I'm hungry. I love Krispy Kreme, and it smells so good. The glaze, oh, that smells delicious. Man, all right, well, hopefully they have people to come eat some donuts soon in Times Square.
It's a separate issue. As far as the weather is concerned, maybe eat your donuts inside. If you leave them out, they're going to get a little mushy, a little warm. We're looking at temperatures in the low 90s for the next few days. For late Monday night into Tuesday, we'll have the chance for some shower and thunderstorms to pass through. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies for both afternoons. Partly sunny Wednesday and Thursday. Another chance for showers and storms on Friday. And then finally, we get back into the 70s for afternoon highs by next weekend. So a little bit of a cool down.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.